Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the live Scrutineer here on SimNews.TV. We're here talking, as we always are, about GPVWC Sim Racing, but this time there's something extra in the corner up that way, look. But we'll get onto that later. So, SimNews.TV, happily covering all the career ladder here at GPVWC, so you can catch all the races. If you haven't seen them all, you can watch back, just look back in all our videos, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any others. But we're going to be going on about everything ready for the Spanish Grand Prix, which is round 4. So yes, you've missed 3 if you haven't been watching. Round 4, and they've been blinders to be fair, all 3 of them so far. This one going to be a cracker as well, I'd imagine, and then we get Monaco after that. So be careful everybody. But Spain, back to sort of normal really, normal racetrack. Baku, very different. This one, a lot of people brought upgrades to this, a lot of different things to talk about ahead of this, because that is something that GPVWC has. Upgrades, loads of stuff going on, upgrades, tyre choices, engine choices, different engine manufacturers, loads of stuff that makes this unique in sim racing and actually the closest you can get to real world racing in a sim. Full stop. It's on Rfactor 2, which is realistically the best realistic sim there is, so you can't get better than this, and it's good to see that other people are now starting to notice that, and the driving quality here is incredible as well. The grid we've got this year is outstanding, but we'll go on to all the people we've got, all the upgrades and everything that's going on. So if you haven't seen GPVWC before, or you may be catching me for the first time, hello everybody. If you're seeing me and you're a veteran with us, hi as well. By all means, get into the comments, ask any questions away if you don't know anything. No questions, big or small, I'll try and answer as best I can. Been at this for longer than I'd like to say, but may still stump me. Who knows? I'm not, we're not the best at these things. But we're going to go on to everything that is going on in the world of GPVWC. So, as you know, last time out we didn't have. If you watched last time's episode, we didn't have a huge amount of upgrades. We did have eval jumping all the way up there. And we did also have flag brigades, but everyone else had already brought their upgrades to the previous event. You can only really bring your upgrades every 2 because of the time scale it takes to build them and put them on the car, which is quite realistic, really, because you don't see Formula 1 teams putting lots of upgrades on every single event. They normally wait in bulk in parts there. Hello, yes, we are now officially Esports. We're going to get in there. So we'll go down championship order though, and we're going to show you the car upgrades first, and then I'll get on to engine upgrades and all the rest of it as well, tyre choices, which are a bit different to last time. Last time everyone went exactly the same. So the championship standings have changed a little bit, so we're going to go in order like we always do, but last time out we started with Epic, this time we're starting with ACR. So ACR Zaxby's have brought on, they've done the same things that they did for the round 2, so they've just upgraded the same areas again, which was weight and diffuser, and they've put 21 and 20 respectively on those 2 areas there, so that gives them 35 on each area, which, they've stuck with what they like to know. It's my team, so I'm a bit biased, but I think it's the way to go, but we'll see, I suppose. You never quite know until Thursday on these things. You can only get a grasp of it. If a lot of managers are thinking the same thing, that's normally a good sign, potentially. But they're top of the standings at the moment, so they're the guys to beat. Edge, though, hot on their tail. They've been interesting this time out. So we may have spoken previously about that you have 2 upgrade slots, and you can upgrade 2 things at a time, and it takes 2 events to basically upgrade them. So they brought 2 to round 2, which is the first round you could bring anything to. Obviously nothing last time. This time though, they've only brought 1. So as you'll see on the graphic, they brought the front wing downforce, which is what they did also for round 2, so they're sticking with that, they like that. So that's now got that to 35, 21 points gained this time. They did body drag previously, which was for round 2, but they haven't done another one. So that's their other slot is, well, presumably being used for Monaco. So they've had longer to develop, so they're going sort of mixing it up a little bit. It's quite a fair strategy. It's a sort of strategy that actually we've used in the past where you bring an upgrade to each event. So it now means that the front wing downforce slot that they've got there, that is now free, so they can use that, and that will upgrade for round 6. Which, that's fine. That means they're going to bring something every time, but they're never going to have the top car at any event. They're going to have nearly the top car at all events. So that's a fair strategy to win the title potentially, but it does make it makes it harder for you, and you have to have the faith in your drivers. So good on Edge there. They're sticking with it, and they go, I've got the drivers to do this, even though the car isn't going to be quite up there this time out, or next time, or forever more potentially, but it'll be there or thereabouts. So fair play to them. Nice to see someone else trying a bit of strategy, particularly a team right up the top there. Epic. So still in the top 3. They just had a bit of a poor, unfortunate race last round, but they've stuck with what they know as well, which is weight and diffuser, which is exactly the same as ACR Zaxby's, which is an interesting one, but Edge have gone completely different to that. So it might not be the right call yet, but 2 teams out of the top 3 doing the same areas. That's quite maybe we're starting to see a bit of a strategy there. But they've got to 36 and 36, so their car is actually better than ACR, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Well, in fact, we won't. We'll do that now. So actually, they've been very clever with this. So they've managed to. You think they've done the same 2 areas and the same staff members, all this sort of stuff, but actually they've been clever in when they've done it. So by using a day here or there, they've got a slightly longer so they've got 1% extra, which isn't going to be massive difference, but could be come the end of the year. If they did that every 2 events, it's going to add up at the end of the year. So fair play to them. They've done very well there, particularly for a new team. So good on them. Hawkeye jumped up the standings a little, well, not jumped up the standings, stayed 4th, but they're high up the standings. They've stuck with what they know as well, front wing downforce and diffuser. So a bit of a mixture of the 2, the diffuser that Epic and ACR have done, the front wing downforce that Edge have done. Quite interesting there, but they're up to 35 and 32. Storm still flying quite high where they are. They went slightly different this time, so they've done body drag previously. They've stuck with the diffuser, so they're carrying on with that. So that's got an extra 20 points at 35, and they've now started the front wing downforce as well. So that's another one that's, again, the sort of Edge area is done, but the body drag is basically the same as Edge there, so good on them. Evolution, we've jumped up the standings there. So they've done more. They've done weight again. They did that the first time, and they've now done the diffuser, whereas previously they did the rear wing downforce. So they've now gone the same sort of route as the Epic route, we'll call it. Norwegian jumped up standings as well. It's all very tight down this end, but Norwegian jumped up. So they've gone all completely different. So last time out they did front wing downforce and rear wing downforce. This time out they've done weight and diffuser, which again is the same as the Epic route, but the first time out wasn't. So you can read into these sort of things. Teams that have picked the same thing twice, you can normally think, right, they've done their strategy for round one and they've gone, right, I want this and we're going to keep developing this because we think this is the best area. Teams that go and start doing lots of different areas make me think they don't know what they're doing, but this is Norwegian. They've been around long enough, they should know what they're doing. So that's my normal standpoint, is actually if they've gone those two routes and seen what the other teams have done, maybe they haven't, maybe this was always the strategy, doing them a disservice, but just how it sort of looks at the moment, we'll see. There's a few other teams that do this, so it's not just them, they're just the first ones I come across. Eval, last time they upgraded, so they didn't bring anything in round 2, they brought it all for round 3, which is why they got 21 and 19, which is a bit higher than other teams had, but they haven't been able to bring anything to this event, so they've got the same car they had in Baku, but just for this one, so they expect to see them with some big upgrades for Monaco. Red Archer, unfortunately, were the ones that sort of fell a bit in the standings, but they also stuck with what they know. You see what I mean? A team that potentially knows what they're doing, they've stuck with what they know, so they've done weight and diffuser, so the Epic route again, 36 points and 33 now. Flag to flag, they brought one to last time out, so they haven't been able to do that this time, so they've only brought the one, so they're on the alternate strategy of the sort of edge idea now, I believe, so that's sort of flag to flag and edge doing the same sort of thing, but they've done diffuser this time out and they did weight previously, so the actual areas they're developing is the Epic route, but the way they're doing it is the edge route. Adonis, all the way down here, unfortunately. Again, this is a team who's now done two different areas again, so the last time, previously they did body drag and they did diffuser, now they're doing front wing downforce and rear wing downforce. Again, it just springs of kind of guesswork. We'll try stuff. You should have tried this pre-season, not doing it now while we're upgrading on the car. It's quite costly. Maybe doing you a disservice. Prove me wrong Thursday. Could be the way to go. But at the moment, it looks like we're guessing. Street Fighter, they've stuck with what they know, which was front wing downforce and rear wing downforce, which is... Other people have done this area, but no one's stuck to it, so they've got the most on both areas combined. So they've got the most on the downforce on the wings. We'll see. That the Street Fighter area, good on them. They're quite far down though, so hopefully they will want to be moving on up. Madcape, again, they've added extra weight, but not a full development. Look, you see there in the green, only 11 points. Normal development's been about 20, so they've only done half, which suggests to me they're trying to get something in time, so they've stopped it developing early enough. They've already done front wing downforce last time out, and then they've done front wing drag. Now, I'm going to quote myself, last time out, team that does any drag reduction at this stage doesn't have a clue what they're doing. Unfortunately, it was the same last year. Madcape have been around and they knew about it as well, so I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I know they've got drivers in there that are newer, but sorry Madcape, I'm going to have to slate you on this. At the moment, this looks shocking, but you managed to pull it off last year with a shocking car as well. So credit to you if you managed to do it, but from a car development and a management point of view, it doesn't look great. Prove me wrong on Thursday. I want to see how the car goes. Anyone disagreeing with me on that? I can't understand the front wing drag, but no other team's done that either. So yeah, good luck to you. Missouri, all the way down at the back, unfortunately now, but arguably shouldn't. The pace is there necessarily. So they've done front wing downforce and they've carried on with the diffuser as well. They did weight previously, so stuck with the diffuser and they've done front wing downforce, which is kind of a bit of a mix again. The diffuser that a lot of teams have done, front wing downforce a lot of teams have done as well. That was very big, and last year was the one to be on. So there's quite a big mix there, really. You can kind of see though the teams at the top, the sort of two routes. Like I say, there's the edge and the Epic route. Most teams doing weight diffuser or front or rear wing downforce seems to be the sort of way it is. A couple have done body drag, which could be useful around here. Not particularly next round, but hey, you never quite know. It's always, you have to weigh it up as to when you're bringing upgrades to certain events. So that's all your cars. So do I hear anyone say engines? Engines. Yeah, let's have a look at engines. So engines. We've obviously got the four manufacturers. Ooh, I'm in the middle of Talos. Hello. So we've got Martex, Quasar, Talos and Valiant. Of those teams, everybody's done power this time out. So previously we'd seen three of them do fuel economy, fuel efficiency, which is Martex, Quasar and Talos, all did 20% worth. Valiant didn't, they did power at 15. They've all done power this time, so, and they've all sort of got rough, you see there, all the ones that started at 0, so Martex, Quasar and Talos have all got 23% worth of power. because they started at 0. It slows down the more you develop. So whereas Valiant had already developed 15%, they only managed to get 20% out of the time frame that the same time frame that the others had. So that would work the same again if now anyone else does power as well. It will slow down and slow down. So you won't see 20, you might only see 16 points worth developing each time. Moves forward. No one's done mapping reliability or resilience yet. I don't expect anyone to do reliability or resilience realistically at this stage. It seems to be everyone's going, right, I want the fastest car. Fair enough. So it's quite interesting that everyone's sort of done power. It's quite a power, quite a power track, Spain, I suppose. But the fuel efficiency does allow you to use boost for a lot longer, which we've already seen at Baku. Particularly, we saw that Valiant cars having to stop using boost 4 quite as much as the other guys, and it did cost them a little bit. Granted, they went off and won, but still could have been, even more maybe. Who knows? But even with those, that's if you've got a full engine. So if you've got a 100% engine, you're going to see all those stats. Not all the cars will have that. In fact, most had a 100% engine the last time at Baku because of that huge long straight. But you've only got 6 engines for the whole season, so you can't really use a fresh engine for the first 6 races. You'd be mad, basically. So we'll go through each team what they managed to choose. So we'll go through ACR again, standings. So Capit and Siebel, they've got a 70 and 68 engine. They're both using Unit 2, which is exactly what they used last time out. So they've stuck with the engine that they used in Baku, using that one again. Edge, this is an interesting one because you've got Peterbilt using the engine from last time out. Fair enough, that seems to be a common theme as we'll get through this. Jarl has got the engine from the first engine he used, which they used in rounds 1 and 2. So not the one used in Baku, the one that did Australia and where did we go? Russia? Did we go? Yeah. So those two, and it's a 32% engine, which should be absolutely fine, but it's the lowest we've seen so far this year trying it. So it's a nice, keep an eye on Jarl. You never quite know. One to watch. Should be absolutely fine. Just be a little mindful. Epic, we shall go through now. So they've picked engines they've used once already. They've gone slightly off kilt because Boy Milan's already used 3 fresh engines. So anyway, but they're now using a used engine in each car. That's only been had 1 race. So anything around when you're talking 68, 69, 70, 71, they're making 0 difference in this respect. It's just going to be. It's worse than the 100%, but there's very little difference between these. It's not going to make any real difference to your car. Hawkeye, they're using used engines. Lopez using Unit 2, which he did Baku. Costa using Unit 1, which will have done Australia. Storm, we've got Leon DeWall using Unit 2, which did last race and did the full distance, so down to 68%. Mano using that engine again, but unfortunately didn't have a very long race, so he only used 3% of his engine, so he's got 97%, so pretty much a fresh engine realistically in Mano's car there, which so far no one else has got, so that could be a little bonus for Mano's car. Evolution next in the standings. Again, they're using the engines that they've used previously, so basically done 1 event at 68 and 64%. Nordson, they've done exactly the same as well, both cars 68% and both using Unit 2, which did Baku. Eval, they've got reverted back to the engines that did round 1, so that's 61% and a 75 for T-Dare because unfortunately he didn't finish that one. So they've reverted back to that, but still used engine, not going to be a huge difference. Red Archer, again, using last time's engines, which is used as well. Flag to Flag, doing exactly the same. The difference is here, Ayres has got a slightly improved engine to most that are around him, so he's at 79. It's not going to be a massive difference, 1 or so % in these things. We then go to Adonis, who they went a bit odd, so they used Unit 5 first round and stuff just to mess with me, I think. So they've got 6% in one car and 52 in the other. Street Fighter, again, used last time's out engines, so they did Unit 2s, which are at 68 and 69%. Madcape, using last time's out engines. Eric STRANNE didn't particularly use it very much last time out, so he's got 89%, sorry. Pretty much a fresh engine the way we're looking at it. If it's 90%, you know enough there. And 78 for Olsen. Although I do hear that neither of these may race. Little thing there, I'm told, which again, if you throw somebody else in the car at late notice, they haven't chosen the upgrades, they haven't even chosen the engine choices or the tyre choices, so they're kind of thrown in. It's a bit hard at the stage. If you're going to get thrown into a Superleague car, be thrown in before the Friday, because the Friday is the cut-off when they choose the engines and the tyres. You kind of want that for your strategy and what you're going to do. It's kind of useful. So good luck to whoever's in these Mad Cape cars. But it might be STRANNE and Olsen, but I'm hearing that they might not be the ones in it. Zurich, they've also got two Unit 2s. PAOLINI's at 70% and Hulkster at 98. So yeah, unfortunately, very early finish at Baku. So he's managed to save his own. About the only bonus. If you're going to crash out in DNF, you might as well crash out in DNF on lap 1, because you get a fresh. You basically kept your fresh engine, not wasting yourself further down the line. We can go into tyres, and we can then show you total development as well. Hopefully you're already seeing there's so many different changes in all these cars. So actually the cars on the grid are never exactly the same, except for even the teammates potentially have a slightly different car because the engine wear is slightly different on the cars, which is always exciting to see. So if we go into tyres, so here we are, slightly new graphic, thank you very much Alex. Not easiest to see at the moment on this side, but we'll have a look. So that way, which way am I? Anyway, so you've got showing you there the top guys. So you're going with Ultrastop, Zaxby, you've got Edge, you've got Epic, Hawkeye, Storm, Evolution and Norwegian. These guys, nobody's selected the hards out of this lot. Everyone with the exception of Edge has selected Ultrasoft out of those, which normally is the qualifying tyre. They've chosen not to do that, whether or not they expected back of the grid penalties or they weren't seeing a big difference between the Supersofts and the Ultras. That might be the case as well. They might see that they couldn't last the Ultrasoft tyres. Maybe the Ultrasoft tyres are great, but they're not going to last long enough for them, and they want some, the options where to go Supersofts. Everybody there has picked soft, which I think is going to be pretty standard throughout the year, really. When you think that if you're on a track where it's going to need Supersofts and stuff, you probably want the softest 3 tyres, so you use the soft anyway. And if it's going to be one where you need the hardest tyres, then you're probably going to use the soft as your softest option and use hard and medium. So yeah. Anyway, there's 3 teams in there that did pick the exact same. Yeah, they did show Epic, Hawkeye and Storm did the same as they did last time out. Do you remember at Baku, everybody chose Ultrasoft, Supersoft and Soft. Hello to Fournier there in your Epic car there with your Ultrasoft, Supersoft and Softs. Hopefully that sticks with it as well. We have seen Zaxby, Edge, Evolution and Norwegian though swap out one of the tyres, the Supersoft in most cases, Ultrasoft in Edge's case, for the medium tyres. So they might use them, so it gives them a little bit of an edge potentially there. But still not, it's nice to see that. I want to see how Edge qualify. If they're not qualifying, they can't qualify in Ultrasoft tyres, so how do they do on Supersofts, and how much longer can they go in that first stint? Because realistically, everyone's going to qualify in Ultras. It just happens, because it's the quickest tyre by quite a way. So they're going to have to qualify in Supersofts, which means they should go longer in that first stint, in theory. We have seen people last the Ultras quite far. So at the back half of the grid, it's been quite similar. They've all picked Ultrasoft, everybody again, so it's just Edge on the whole grid that has not got that choice. Could be costly if they're the only ones. If there is a big difference in Ultrasoft and Supersoft tyres, which you haven't seen massively this year, but even if there's a couple of temps, they could find themselves way down the order, 10th or 11th, something like that, and that could be quite difficult to come back from. But maybe they've got the strategy call. Who knows? I said everyone was going with softs. Street Fighter, blow me out of the water. They're just the oddball. They're just trying something different. I like it. You've got to try something different when you've had a bit of bad luck. So they kept the Ultrasoft. They're going to qualify. Good on them. But they've decided that obviously it's going to be long stints for them, so they've gone with medium and hard tyres. We have seen the hard tyres trying to be used previously, famously by Risto in round 1, trying to make that one-stop work in Australia. Didn't quite in the end. Fournier in the comments here, managing to get his win on that event day. So great on him. If you haven't watched that, by the way, yeah, get hold of that. Get on GPVWC.com, get on ours. Brilliant. Round 1 Australia. You'll never not watch GPVWC again. Then most teams have got the mediums. Adonis, Mad Cape and Missouric all stuck with their strategy of the 3 softest compounds. It does all spring a bit of last year, but it worked last time out for everyone, so who knows. And then Eval, Red Archer, Flag to Flag all have the medium tyre option to the middle of the Super Softs. Just bringing into some of these, you start looking already, like from a manager point of view, and you can start seeing what other teams are doing, how they're managing their teams. From the car upgrades, like I was saying about being a bit sporadic potentially, or knowing what they're doing. There's a few teams that, to me, at the moment, Adonis and Mad Cape are flagging up to me going, we're just doing 2017, we're just picking the tyres from last year, we're just doing the upgrades, kind of like last year. If it hasn't worked, we're going to try something else, because Mad Cape did do that drag thing last year as well. it just doesn't. It just springs of I'm not trying as hard as the others, and that kind of shows in the standings. Maybe might not be the driver's fault, but managers, get your ass in gear, because you've got some new teams in here. Eval, flag to flag. These teams are doing different things. Even Zurich, to be fair, are trying a bit better. They've just had really bad luck, but from a manager point of view, they actually seem to be picking a bit better, maybe. But flag to flag and Eval, particularly out of that lot, have sort of impressed me a bit in that they've actually come on in. Yeah, to be honest, they were the teams people were talking about going, do they deserve to be in Super League? Well, from a manager perspective, it looks like they do. You know, Eval done something different. They're on completely different strategies to everyone else. They've sort of tried to blow it a bit out of the water. Flag to flag have not been picking the obvious choices necessarily. They've been picking, realistically, the same sort of choices as the Epic teams. I mean, obviously Epic have been doing brilliantly as well as a new team, way up there. But I'm just talking the guys down here that have had a bit of bad luck potentially in the driving side of stuff, doing rather well from a managing point of view. So let's have a look at the total development. Sorry, it's a bit of a big graphic, so it's going to be all the way up. So as you can see here, it is percentages, but it's not percentage out of 100, as was previously told on some other broadcasts, because you can develop every area. There's like 8 or 9 areas, so you can develop. In theory, you look at that and go, Epic is at 72% of 8 or 900. Well, they're never going to get to that sort of stage, so it's just worth looking at who's got the most on the car, I suppose. Again, when you're talking 2 or 3 points, it's not going to make a huge difference because it depends on the areas as well, but it's nice to see. So you look up there and go, Epic, new team, they have got the most development on their car of anyone on the grid. Just say that again. Epic have the most developed car of anyone on the grid. This round 1 they won, it was equal cars. This time they have the best car. Let's see what they do. ACR just behind them on 70. You've got Red Archer on 69. Always a well-managed team. Have been for years. Unfortunately, in the bottom half of the table at the moment, that car doesn't need to be there at 16 if it's at 69%. Hawkeye, 67%. Zurich, look at that. I mean, 65. I mean, they're right up there. Again, with Storm and Evolution just behind them, with Nordson as well, Donus, Street Fighter. These are all the teams that have got vaguely the same sort of points amounts. There's a little bit of difference. 10 points worth between a Street Fighter or a Donus all the way up to Epic can be quite a big difference. But the guys at the top there, if you're talking probably, I'd say, Storm, Zurich area to the top, not a huge difference in times, just on the points area, but is when you're talking what they are using those points on, as we spoke about earlier, which areas they're on. Flag to flag, Edge, Mad Cape and Eval, obviously all doing something a bit different, which is fine, but just means they're a bit behind for this event. So flag to flag, I'm expecting an Edge, and Eval, obviously I'm expecting next time out for it to be Eval at the top, and then between flag to flag and Edge, depending on who's developed what. Mad Cape, I have no idea. They might really throw it out there and be right at the top as well. They should be, because they've only developed small amounts, so I'd expect them to develop big amounts for next time out, assuming they've worked that out right. Yeah, well, I'm hoping they are. They have been here last year. Fingers crossed they will. It just looks pretty poor for them this time out, unfortunately. Hey, we've got Hawkeye in here. We've got everybody coming in. That's nice. Nice to see you all here. Hopefully you're not paying too much attention to the rubbish I'm talking, because we've got so much going on. So that's your total development for all the cars. So when you see it on Thursday, I'll try and hand this over to the guys doing the Sim News broadcast, so that then they can give this to you a little bit before the event as well. But I just wanted to give you a bit more detail on it all, because it does make a big difference potentially. The upgrades they put on the cars allow you to change the setup. They allow you to do, I mean, it literally adds downforce to the car. It can, if the weight's lower, that's so much easier. There's some potentially then you could carry more fuel. You can if you've done downforce on the front wing, you can run lower front wing, which helps you. There's loads of bits and pieces. I won't go into every little detail with you, but it's up to the teams to trial and test and do what areas. And not every area will work for every team. Some people's driving style will work differently as well. You might not want the front wing, you might want the rear wing, certain tracks will want different things as well. So you've got to factor that in. So what you want here for Spain will not be necessarily what you're going to need for Monaco, or what you need for Baku necessarily. So it's kind of balancing that up. We have had a weird start to the season when you've got a couple of, you've got 3 if you count Australia as well as street circuits, and then you've got some other sorts of more traditional circuits. So the back end of the season should be a bit easier to predict from a development point of view potentially, but at the moment there is a couple of things sort of starting to come through, I think, but we're only going to really find out probably in about 3 events time actually if everyone's stuck to that or not, or if they've just sort of gone with their strategies for now, and then some teams, as we've seen previously, change their ideas based on what other teams are doing. So everyone might start looking at Epic going, you know what, they're doing well, they're getting lots of points, they're up there, they're building the best car, I'm going to do that as well. You're always going to be behind them in that case, but at least you might catch up some of the other teams that, you know, in the midpoint of this list somewhere here. That's fair enough, isn't it? So that is total development for everyone. So we've been through tyres, we've been through engines, we've been through car choices, we've been through engine choices, and all that's left to do is get onto the grid for Super League on Thursday. So if you've enjoyed this, I know stats people out there, there's only a handful of you, hello to everybody, then thank you for joining us. If you're part of this one above, YTF1, which is our new interesting partner for GPVWC, where the broadcast will also be streamed now on their Facebook page, and they're going to be doing a few other bits, including highlights and bits and pieces like that. Hope you're all a big fan of that, because that's going to be a huge audience to you guys. So whereas I've got 9 people watching us here, there'll be an awful lot more than that on Thursday, I imagine. So Thursday at 8 o'clock the race start, 20 minutes before that for qualifying, and a bit of chatter from the guys to find out what's happening. You can see all those teams battling it out around the traditional Spanish Barcelona circuit, which is incredible. It's just going to be awesome. You can catch it on GPVWC.com, you can catch it on their YouTube channel, on Sim News here, on this YouTube channel, you can catch it on our Facebook, on our Twitch, and now on YTF1 as well, on their Facebook. Fantastic to see. I love how esports is going. It's an exciting partnership, 300,000 people potential watching there. You know, who knows where this could go. So try your best, managers, drivers. I know you're the guys that mainly watch this, so if you're watching this, the guys that I've sort of slated a little bit, prove me wrong. The guys that I think you're doing the right thing, again, prove me right, please, otherwise I might be out of a job. Yes, you are one of the 9, Bruno, hello. Hopefully we'll see you driving us around as well soon. Obviously, SimNews.TV, we've also got the career ladder, the rest of the ladder. So it's not all about Super League here on SimNews.TV. We've got Formula Challenge tomorrow night, same time before as I've done this. We've then also got Super Cup on Wednesday as well. All can be found on this channel or on GPVWC.com, or follow our Facebook or Twitch or any of those sort of things. You won't miss it. It's shared everywhere. It's going to be an exciting season, and we're just getting started. Can Epic manage to get themselves another win? Can ACR carry it on, or can Edge do a bit of an alternative strategy by the looks of things and really pull it out of the bag, and maybe Jarl will get his first win, or Burlak? Who knows what could go on here? There's so much going on, and don't discount anyone from further down as well. Hawkeye have got the car to do it, Red Archer have even got the car to do it. All these guys, there's loads of people out there that could potentially win this race. So make sure you find out on Thursday. I'll be watching, and thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you enjoy.